I was, like I said, I was hurt by Christmas time. I was hurt, but I could not play because we didn't have anyone else to play. So I fought through it. Now it comes time to work out. I'm working out, and the draft workouts is like 2, 3 a day, lifting weights, you're playing, and then you get on the plane, you're going to this city, working out there, you get on the plane, you're going there, you're working out there. So, but I was battling through it.
Had to.
And I was battling through it. And like I said, in the interview on the Hoop Street, so when I got to the Lakers loved me, man. That's when D'Antoni was there. The Lakers loved me. That's when Cole was on 1 foot, man. He just had the surgery. He was on 1 foot, and he's on his little bike. Cole was in there every morning, but they showed me major love. Like they put me up there. They were like, nah, just stay here with us. You got it. But one day, like the athletic trainer came to me, like, yo, Ash, are you hurt? I was like, nah, man, nah, I'm good. I was like, no way, I'm messing this up because
Right.
I had to. That's what I met Phil.
Okay, so
To this day, that's my guy, man.
Great guy.
That is my guy.
Great
Boy,
guy.
to this day, man. To this day, like I met him because in the workout it was like my first workout. I think there was like 8 of us. They have because they have the big workouts for like the guys kind of like on the fringe. Let's see if any of these guys are any good.
Yeah.
Then they have like the smaller workouts, 2-on-2 workouts. And then they have the individual workouts. The individual workouts is like, if you're on that board, if you're going top 5, like, that workout is for you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So my first workout with the Lakers was like 8 of us. And Phil was one of the guys. It was Phil, Mark Madsen, and Darvin Ham, I think his name is.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Darvin Ham? He's at the Trailblazers now. But yeah, but me and Phil was like, that was my guy, man. From the beginning, he was like, oh, it hit cool, and he fucked with me, and that was it. We've been cool ever since then. But yeah, I was hurt, man. When I was going through the testing, I was in a lot of pain. I couldn't jump as high as I needed to jump. Couldn't run as fast as I needed to jump. But I played well. I still played well. I played people. I talked, communicated, and I got on really well with D'Antoni and his stuff. But yeah, after I must have got a phone call like a day or 2 later from my agent. He was like, yo, they just asked, are you hurt? Are you hurt? I was like, yo, my knee is killing me, man. He's like, oh shit. He's like, okay. I said, well, what are they? What are they? Are they mad? Do they not want me? And he was like, nah. They were like, they just said they thought you would test better. I was like, oh, okay. And that was it. That's all they said. But yeah, like when I think back to that moment, like sometimes I think to myself, like, no, I should have been honest. Like we had a good relationship, whatever. If they had cut me for being hurt at that point, then c'est la vie. But yeah, maybe it would have helped out because I ended up getting cut later by the Kings for being hurt. But yeah, it's what it is, man. Hindsight, man.
Yeah, hindsight is 2020, bro.
Yeah. I sometimes I just imagine like, what if I'd just been like, okay, yeah, I'm hurt, and they're like, okay, listen, we're gonna get you together, and we're gonna give you an opportunity, and then
Imagine you thinking that,
man, who knows, man? Who knows? But that's not what was in store for me. And quite honestly, I wasn't prepared. I needed to get away from LA for a little bit. I needed to, I think it's tough. I think that would be the toughest situation with any kid. If your first professional team is at the Lakers, yeah, man, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. It was up and down, man. It was obviously, like I started in the NBA. Mm-hmm. So I started in the NBA, summer league, like it's a different world, man. I mean, we staying in the best hotels. Your per diem is giving you $125 a day. Like, it doesn't matter what, even if they're paying you, like $125 a day is like you're spending money here per diem. They have to give it to you. You can spend it, you can save it. There was guys like and some of the guys were like, oh man, I'm saving this. Like, I'm gonna eat McDonald's every day. I was like, what? I'm getting this room service, man. I'm enjoying this. I'm in Vegas. I'm enjoying
Oh,
this.
yeah, effort, he's bought out.
Oh, what? Yeah, and then and you didn't have to worry about nothing because all the NBA players were there. I knew them from LA also. So in the evenings you go out, they look out, So you didn't have to worry about your money. But the 125, like I finish every day, put me for about extra 40 in my pocket. But it was amazing. Yeah. So I went doing little side deals and doing just moving man about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's when you found out about business.
Yeah, slowly started learning about the different aspects of the business. I mean, I started learning about the business in Summerlee, to be honest with you, that because when I went to when I was at the Lakers, nothing happened with them. They showed major love, but the Kings, I got a call from my agent with the Kings,
yeah,
and actually I tell you that something did happen with the Lakers. So like I said, there's 3 different workouts, at least at those times. There's the individual workouts, there's the 2-on-2s, so they have 4 guys. It would be like
in the groups.
a wing on the big or a wing on the guard on both sides, and they'll match you up, right? And then there'll be the 8 guys. So I did the 8 guys one. I got a phone call like, "Yo, can you come back for another one?" Because I'm right there in LA. So when I came back for the other one, they had a couple guys who were supposed to go like top 15, but they had me and another guy. And so basically, I learned that what they do is they get like they're there to evaluate the top 15 guys, but they want to put guys who can play and guys who can test them there to see how they do. Now, you got to be absolutely spectacular, or these guys can't be that good, or something miraculous has to happen for you to get that opportunity. Basically, you know what I mean? Because they know, it's like they know that we know we're gonna take this kid. It don't matter what you do, we're gonna take this kid. Now maybe something comes up down the road that we have some space, we can make a move or whatever. We like you too, so we'll take you. But he's going. We see the promise. We're gonna build this guy. We have a vision. We just want to see how he does against a guy like you, because you're obviously ahead of him right now. So I started learning about stuff like that. And then yeah, I mean, it's just all part of the business. It's all part of the game. It's hard to understand when you're young. When you're younger, you're like, oh no, if I work hard, I make every shot and I show them better. They're gonna give me a chance. No, that's not how it works. No, it's not about that. But with the Kings, so I got a call from my agent, and he was like, "Yo, the Kings want you." Mind you, I didn't even work out with the Kings. I'm like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, they saw your workouts, they saw your tape, they heard how you've been doing, and they need a guy. They need a wing, need a 4, need a 3, need a guy who play the 3, play the 4. They just had the guy got hurt. They're gonna put you on the Summerlee team right now, and they want to keep you for camp. I'm working you throughout the summer." I'm like, "That's dope." He was like, "Come on," but he was like, "They're in Vegas already. You have to get to Vegas tonight." I'm like, but I like the Lakers." And he was like, "Yeah, but this is a guaranteed spot."
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what do you think I should do? He said, like I said, it's a guaranteed spot. You got to take the guarantees when they come to you.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I was like, but I don't know no one there, nothing. He said, fuck that, man. Don't worry about that, man. Just go and do the same thing that you've been doing. I said, okay. And he's like, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call Mitch Kupchak. He was still the GM of the Lakers at the time. I'm gonna call Mitch. I'm gonna ask him about you. I'm gonna ask him if he's gonna guarantee you a spot. Because the way the Lakers were working at the time, like they didn't have no high draft picks at that time in those days, like that, But they were just trying to find talent where they could. So again in hindsight, that might have been a better situation for me. So at our Summerlee camp, we had 40 guys at first, and it got whittled down every day. We even had guys like Chris Douglas Roberts there who was trying to get back on the team. We had Josh Shelby. You know, we had a lot of guys who could play ball, you know, and who had been in the league and were trying to get back on the team, trying to get opportunities. And we had some new guys like myself. And I made it to like the final. I made it to the final 12, but no, I made it to the final 15. But you can only take 12 to summer league.
Of course.
It was something like that, whatever the numbers were. So, but again, like I said, the Kings wanted me right there and then, and so he called Mitch, and Kupchak was like, "Oh no, we could like actually, but we're gonna make the decision on the last day. He has to make it through the last thing, just like everyone else. We're not just gonna give him the spot. You know, that doesn't look like." So my agent was like, "All right, well, he's one of the Kings then." So they made the deal. Kings bought my contract. That day, Phil came to see me. He's like, "Yo, man, good luck, man. You know, I wish you could have stayed, but understand." And I was like, "Damn." You know, so and then I went to the Kings. But as soon as I went to the Kings, boy, they just drafted Grady McCollum Jr. and Ben McLemore. Great guys, by the way.
Yeah.
Great guys. Everyone on that team was great guys. But as soon as we got there, like they were calling those guys by their first name, and we were all numbers. You know, so you just started seeing like literally that summer league team. So they already had their 2 draft picks. That summer league team was to see. It was for them. It was for them. Everything was for them. You know, get these guys prepared to possibly play in the league or play with the team or whatever. But they did need a 3-man, like a guy who could play defense on the floor, shoot, you know, a 3-and-D guy. But like on my second day there, they signed Luke Mbalamute. So that sport went just like that, you know. So again, it was
an awakening to the business of it all.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all kind of like teams are gonna do what they need to do like to get better. The same thing with with the Mavericks. You know, I had a great workout there. And good night. My girl going to bed. Had a great workout there, and Carlisle called me to the office. We had a great conversation. They'd done their homework on me. They'd actually come to see me at school. Like it was, I thought I was gonna be Maverick, man. I thought I was gonna be Maverick before I went to the Lakers. I thought I was gonna be Maverick. And they were like, you know, listen, we got the 44th pick, you know, and we want to use it on you. Like the same way you and I are talking like this, you know. Rick Carlisle was talking to me like that. The associate GM was there. Cuban was in there. He sent me a message though, and I mean they was looking out, and yeah, they said that with the 44th pick we want to take you. But say we don't take you for whatever reason, how do you feel about coming in here for summer league? I said, sign me up. I mean, like, I'm here. I don't have to go nowhere. I don't have to go home. Sign me up. And they were like, okay, cool. You know. So then we talked some more, hung out with those guys that night, and then I went on my way. But like even with that, so on draft day, they traded my pick. They used my pick to trade for Monte Ellis. You know, so it's just like these are all the type of things that you know that happen that kind of that you understand, like, and it's nothing personal at all. It's nothing personal. That these are moves that anyone's gonna do, anyone's gonna make. But you start to learn that as you go throughout your career, that it's not about like, are you better than this guy? Are you whatever? Like, you know, it's like, it's what have you done? Can you prove your market value? You know, how does the market see you? You know, I don't know, man. Who's your agent sometimes?
You had an eventful draft experience, bro.
Yeah, but it was amazing too. Man.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's what I mean in a good way. I don't mean in a bad way. I mean in a good way. Like you had all these experiences.
Yeah.
It's crazy.